Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the shit show that we lovingly call Bitcoin price action. Uh, got a weekly chart up here. Got the same projections from yesterday. Just watching to see what this weekly candle does, right? Because it's down here. It's testing the mean of the projection right here, this down move. And I hold this projection pretty valid. All right, we tested the 99.7 Laplace distribution went range, went sideways, bounced off the 95.4, been hanging around here, been hanging around. Top side of three right here, it's about 51K. That's a good area. That is a good area. What am I hearing? What am I hearing? What am I hearing?
Yo,
I'm getting feedback. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, shit. I was getting feedback from you last night too. I don't know what's up. Maybe you don't have headphones on. But now there's no feedback. So it's all good. Yeah, like I said, it's a little bit about 51, top of this 68.3. Wouldn't be a bit surprised to see. Just I mean, it's all pretty much up in the air. We can look at the charts, but there's a lot of indecision going on right now, right? They're trying to, they want your Bitcoin. There's no doubt about it. Oh, you know what, too? Guys, here, give me a second. Oh, my goodness, I did not flip over to my internet. Yeah. So I'm going to disconnect for a second. Hold on. Am I back? I am back. I am back and I am Bilbo. Everybody can see my chart? Yes. Okay, let's get back to this. So yeah, I'm just watching this projection, watching this weekly just to see what's going on. We could actually so the chart at the same time. No. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Let's get down to it's, yeah, 59.8. Yeah, so we're just flying around. Let's pull up a 4 hour. Let's see what's going on over here on these projections. Oh, let's scale this baby correctly. Yeah, see. See a little shaky going on here. Tell you what I want. Let's turn off the PB2. Measure back here. Let's see what the hell's going on. 15 bars. Driving a stick. Working the trackpad with the right. Working the keyboard with the left. Clutch, gas, clutch, gas. Mom and dad taught me and my brother how to drive when I was 13 and he was 11, just in case of emergencies, right? Bad idea. We took the cars all the time. They're like, why did we teach these kids how to drive? Out of stealing the car in the middle of it. Yeah, weird little hellions. Lucky we even survived that. Let's see. So on this 4 hour move, right? I mean, we're banging around up here on the bottom side of the 95.4 on this 4 hour. Come down here about around 56K. Going to tomorrow, a little under 45K by the end of the day. Yeah, probably one more. There we go. Yeah, probably right about 54.5 is a 99.7 on this projection on the 4 hour. Now, do we make it down there? You got it's up in the air, man. This thing's all over the place. There's no doubt about it. Really little battle going on right here at 60K. All right, they've tried to push it up a couple times. It keeps getting slammed back down. Peek at the VRE here. Again, it's been struggling getting above the center of today's price action volatility range. The CB. Let me go over on that chart real quick. Come on. There. So yeah, this is what we're dealing with right here. Got a tight little tight little 68.3 range right here. And now this is being projected from this up move is what I really like to do. Let's see what's going on if we move this all the way back. I like to start right around the beginning of the day. Since there really wasn't a really good pivot to work with, let's start it right here. It was about an hour before the daily close. 95 bars. Can you do projections this long? Sure you can, especially when you're working with on a 15-minute chart with all the candles on the 15-minute throughout the day just to see what's going on. I mean, you can see right here. If you start that projection right here, you've got the mean of that projection cruising across there. It was a perfect rejection, and that mean lined up perfectly with the center of the daily range. So we have been rejecting from the center of the daily price action volatility range a few times, right? We came down here pretty much immediately, got down in here, bounced back up to the bottom side of 68.3. The 95.4 supported it. Another rejection off the bottom side of the 95 or the 68.3 perfectly, I might add. And then, we had this perfect stab to the first standard deviation. I mean, to the dollar. Let me see here real quick. What is that at? 58,270. And the low today, 58,233. Got a little bit by it. Sucked back up. Rejection right off the bottom side of the projection of or the mean of that projection and the center of the daily volatility range. Finding a little bit support right here, right? What's the red cross line? That's the top of the monthly volatility range. When I started this projection, right, you can see what's going on right now. The 95.4 is right here at the second standard deviation and the 95.4 Laplace. All right. When all this was going on, when we were getting these strong little 15-minute candles, I thought we were going to come down and test it then, right? Because there's been a lot of down pressure. They're really trying to flush this thing out, get rid of some of this leverage. But apparently the bulls aren't having it, which, we don't care as volatility traders, right? I mean, there's been some good trades today. Like I said, I've been on another Discord trying to scoop up some freebies like a degen. It's like I really don't need them, but it's fun. It's fun. I got a free NFT. What are you gonna do? NFT is a disease. I highly recommend not getting involved unless you understand that you will become an addict. You have to confess to all of us, right? Like I have done several times. My name is Bilbo McWolfstein, and I am an NFT addict. And I haven't been clean for a long time. I'm a user. I mainline NFTs. It's a beautiful thing. So where are we going now? We got to get a late day flush, you know. And here's when it comes to me, I'm just like, let's get this thing done. Let's get on with the show. But this week in particular, right here, I'll show you guys. Make sure I got this on the. Let's reload this chart. Yes, reload Chrome. And I'm going to go back. First off, I am going to put a vertical right here, right, for this week. And then I'm going to go up, back. There you are, sweet pea. Good times, good times. Where was that? Where did I start getting in on them shit coins? Right about here. I'm pretty sure. No, it might have been down here. No, I took profit then. Buying up that Tron, buying up that Verge, buying up that Tron, buying up that Verge. And what else? Cardano. And then dumped it. Dumped it right about 16. Was it on that last candle? Yeah, it was right about here this week. Dumped all those shit coins. Dumped all those shit coins. So the whole point of this wasn't to talk about shit coins. It was to put another vertical line right here, right? Right here in November. This last one 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we can go into this month. These 5 weeks right here, going up until the end of the year, that was a powerful move for Bitcoin. 240%. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. This was a 30% pullback here, right? Doesn't look like much. This is why that last bull run we had, a lot of people lost money. Not too many people made money. You'd be like, how in the hell did people not make money? Well, because they get over leveraged. The best case scenario here for people when a bull run starts, just buy some spot, hold it, right? Don't use leverage because you're going to get liquidated. You're going to get liquidated at some point when you play around with leverage because you get greedy. You see this thing charging and you want to make more money. Nobody's ever happy with the gains they're getting. So every time, instead of taking profit on every leg of the bull run, when it pulls back, they add on to their position and they get more over leveraged. Maybe a guy's down here and he gets into a position and he's 20x. He adds on another 20. Now he's 40x. Now he's 60x. Now he's 80, or now he's 60x. Boom, you're liquidated on a 30% pullback. Because that liquidation point is just creeping up behind you. And a lot of these degens end up getting 80, 100% leverage, which I don't know. People are insane. People are insane. Know that. So this is what we're dealing with now. Coming in to, we're coming into the end of the year, right? If this was a 30% pullback right now from the top, boop, we're talking about, you'd be at about 50K. Boop, a little under 50K, right? A little under 50K. And then Bitcoin, after that 30% pullback, went on a 240% run. So you go down here, it was actually a little under, about there, 49. And you run up and do a 240% move, boop, boop, you're looking at about $165,000 Bitcoin, $170,000 Bitcoin. But this is why we use these projections, because these are areas that the algos are going to target. These are the areas the algos are going to target. Here's the end of the year. So if you're looking right here, and if it wants to make a 95.4% run, you're looking at 100% or 100%, $100,000 Bitcoin. If it makes a 99.7% run, you're looking at about $235,000 Bitcoin. Probably going to end up somewhere in the middle if this thing really takes off by the end of the year, which I think it's gonna. I really think it's gonna. This is like a shakeout before this last just explosion towards the end of the year. But we are dealing with Bitcoin. You know, this thing could end up at the top of the 68.3 at the end of the year and just leave the sour taste in everybody's mouth, right? You end the year at like a $55,000 Bitcoin. Who knows? Could do that. And then when everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, at the end of the year, now we're in a bear market, and then the thing just launches. Because things are changing. These previous bull runs after the halvings, things have changed. The volatility is different. There's more big players in the game. So you really can't use that. You know, a lot of people like to use that stuff as like fractals. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing, you know, that there is a little bit of a resemblance on these pullbacks on the way up. But that was a great bull run, right? About $235 to 20K. Pretty powerful run. Pretty powerful run. Let's see here. So let's take a peek over here. Let's look on this. Let's have 45 minutes. Let's pop on the daily first. And we're still having an outlier on the daily, the variance of the Wolf's Mane. The returns oscillator and the z-score of log returns, which is in the area, have both turned up, right? And they have turned up I mean, if you go all the way back to here, there's a little bit of hidden bull din, right? Not a little. I mean, it's pretty extensive. We're talking from these lows. That's the thing. Has there been a low set yet? Right? This is why you can't jump the gun on this because, in my opinion, this thing could go down and test the Fisher before it makes a run. Right? We're talking down there a little over 50K. And that would line up with, right around the same area on that projection of the top side of the 68.3 Laplace distribution. So we're just going to have to feel this one out. Best case scenario, you get on the low time frames, you just scalp the volatility. You scalp the volatility, right? That's the easiest thing to do. And I haven't had this indicator on my chart. We literally just got it published private. We're going to be publishing it public invite only. But it is called the dictator. See my little potato? Isn't that cute? That was my idea. Dictator. This is everything you're seeing here. This is built off the Fisher transform. If we ever dip into traditional technical analysis, we dip into the Fisher. A lot of us really like the Fisher, and this is a good indicator. So, and you can see there's two different lengths too, which is pretty powerful. And I mean, I'm looking at the Fisher, and I mean, it's still heading down on the daily. We're having an outlier on the variance. This is, and I saw it. There. I want to call out Sayron, particularly. He is learning so much. We love seeing this, right? He called it out, because people are just like, oh, it's going to pump, it's going to pump, and he's like, the daily Wolfsbane is holding this price action down, and it is. When you're having a freaking outlier on the variance to the downside, that is powerful down pressure, right? That's why you're getting these rejections. That's why you're getting all these rejections here. Boom, boom, especially off of this range. But what we can't forget about, and it's getting close. I mean, we got this next day. I've never seen it go longer than 4 days. This daily range never got tested. Now, have I seen a daily range get tested within about $500? Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, maybe a couple. Right? It was closer than this the previous week. Remember when the weekly range didn't get tested and that daily range didn't get tested? And the whole week I'm like, be careful. And then wham, man, we got those 15-minute wicks, dropped thousands of dollars, and tested that weekly and daily range perfectly. In my opinion, same thing's going to happen on the top side, right? And we're talking, this is the bottom side is at 64K, right? 64K. So we're going to have to just be patient and see what happens here. That's why just scalp the volatility. Be safe. Scalp the volatility. I know there's some people, you just like to get into position. So, well, if we're going on this massive, bull run, I want to get into position. Bitcoin loves to run a fake out first, right? Get people so discombobulated they have no idea what's going on. You get people going in a long, then it starts dumping. They get out of the long in a loss, right? And then they're in a short, and then Bitcoin, it does it so fast. They don't take their profit quick enough. Then it rocket ships back up. This wouldn't shock me at all if we get like a five to $6,000 12-hour candle coming into today to the downside, maybe even quicker. Hell, could happen in a 4-hour, couple 4-hour candles, and then a rocket ship up to 64 before the day ends to test that daily range. Because remember, you got to go up here and you got to look at that weekly range. It's $100 weekly range, super tight. That means you're going to have a lot of trend. In my opinion, we've seen about half of the trend I usually would expect to see. It's probably about close to 9K now, I would say, altogether. But there's a lot more coming. Right? There's a lot more coming, in my opinion. So, I mean, the week's young too, right? But considering I've never seen one of these ranges go untested for more than 4 days, we're working on the fourth day as soon as we close, right? As soon as we close today, it's going to be Thursday for crypto. So we got to keep an eye on this. Really got to keep an eye on this big time. See what happens here. And when we get a new day on the VRE, I'm gonna shit can this projection, and I'm gonna start on the first legitimate pivot as close to the opening of the day or right after it. Like right here, it was a little shaky. Right, boom, boom, boom. Where's a good place to start this? I mean, you could have started one down here, but it's best to, you know, get a good run, right? Like this one to the downside. Start it there, and you can see how it works. It plays out a lot better. It really does. Plays out a lot better. So let's see. Down fair. Let me go into the stream chat. I see it lit up. Somebody's asking something. They're here. Yes, my speed goggles. Yep. Let me read all this real quick. Future man, yes, yes. Yes, Aaron. Yeah, it works, man. These little projections, it really helps, especially when they're lining up. When it lines up with different levels and stuff. This is super, like over here, this is super interesting to me right now. All right, because that's just a 95.4. It's very close to that too. And I mean, I was even telling MJ, I was like, today I expected this. I expected this. I'm not surprised it hasn't went down yet. But when you're seeing rejections like this, we've seen they're trying to push this up and it's rejecting off the center of this daily range. This could be a very interesting last couple hours. It really could be. Really could be. I mean, we could get this shake out fast. So as soon as this new day starts, then we march our ass up and test that daily range. It was untested. Let me go back over here to the stream. All kinds of people talking. Holy crap. Do you think tomorrow will be a tight daily range? Yes, I do. Right? You didn't even have to ask me, right? I mean, you can see the tight price action. I mean, hell, it's only been what, a little over 2K, 2,500 of price action. It's not a lot. It's gonna be tighter than the day before. That's for damn sure, right? I mean, there was a lot more. There was a lot more price action yesterday. Today it's been a little tight. So, right now, where's the new daily range going to be? Below this one, unless this thing pumps its ass off in the last 2 hours. But right now, in my opinion, the probability is more downside. You get price action really take a dump here or something, you're going to get a daily range down here by where the bottom side of this 68.3 was at. You push up, and it's going to bring that daily range up, probably up into this like big consolidation here, in my opinion. I mean, we're talking about a 15-minute chart. You look at this on the 4 hour, and it's just going sideways, really. We already looked at it, right? Put this on a 4 hour. And here's the day right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's just pretty much sideways. A little bit of action, not much though. Not much at all. And that's the thing. And this is the time. It's just time to be patient. Because in my opinion, the move, we're going to have this move at some point. We're going to the top side. I mean, I'm pretty confident in saying that. It's just, there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors pointing this thing to the top side. Plus, I mean, we're in the last, getting to almost the last 5 weeks of the year where we're in this bull run. It's usually a pretty powerful run, but leave it up to these Bitcoin theys to, run a train on everybody, right? Won't be able to sit right for a week. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But we're closing these candles below 60K, things of that nature. And I'm over here, I'm looking at it daily. Man, it's just and obviously the variance is getting high. It is getting high. I mean, there's no bear div, right? There's no bear div really anywhere. But I've also, I mean, I've used the dictator behind the scenes. I mean, it's probably the first time people have seen this indicator. It's got two second standard deviation bands around it too, which make it pretty powerful. And then the two different lengths, it really helps. And both these lengths, man, they're heading down. You got the higher length getting ready to cross the MA right now. That is a log MA. So yeah, and then obviously we've got, the Z score of historical volatility. It is sloping up negatively correlated. That's another thing. Along with that variance, I mean, this price action is heading is a lot of down pressure. And obviously, we are contracting positively correlated on the higher two length AVRs, and we are expanding negatively correlated on the low length. This is, and I was looking at this earlier, and I'm like, how the hell is this thing just not really sent some 15-minute candle wicks to the downside? Get this thing over with, right? They're trying to shake some people out. I guarantee you right now, there's people hanging on by a thread, scared shitless. You could, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if there's like a lot of liquidation points, like right around 58, 57, right? Because people were getting into over leveraged longs at like 65. So sketchy out there. Stay safe, alpha traders. Shit could get real spicy. And I'm looking, this would just be perfect. This would be typical Bitcoin to make a run down here. Literally I mean, this thing could jump down here in a couple hours, 4 hour candles, 15-minute candles, just zip down, test the reverse Fisher on the daily, 50,350. That'd shake so many people out of their longs. It'd be ridiculous, right? It would be ridiculous. What's going on in Bitfinex? Yeah. These longs, man, they're piling up again. We got, I mean, just today, and this is just on Bitfinex, all right? 720 Bitcoins have been longed on Bitfinex. So it's like, wow, 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 wow. And 308 have been shorted. So, yeah, what's going on? That's what everybody wants to know. So, what do? You drop down on 12 hour. Let's look at the 12 hour. Let's see what's happening. And the low length on the 12 hour is contracting positively correlated, saying down, right? And then you've got or you've got pretty much it's flat positively correlated, and it is still sloping up. I mean, we are still expanding. So that is, I mean, that's saying nothing really. To be honest, when I see a read like that, that correlation is I mean, slipped up a little bit, that's telling me it's kind of just like, yeah, what's the high length saying? The high length is positively correlated contracting too. So the two AVPs or AVRs that are making sense to me are both saying down. Then you've got the percentile of price on the day or on the 12 hour, they're all heading down. We do though, there's a different read on the ADZ, right? It's starting to go positively correlated. and the Z-score is heading up. So that's good for the top side. There's just a battle going on right now. Then you got variance coming down positively correlated, saying down. So crazy. But then, on the 12-hour, we did have this little bit of bull div. But if you look where this point is, it's on this random candle right here. Is that the bottom of the data set? No, it's not. It's right here. And do you see the little twitch? That's a point right there. There is no bull div on the 12-hour, in my opinion. And that's what allowed that baby just to whoop, come right on down. And now the 12 hours starting to slope a little bit. Slope a little bit down. We'll have to see what happens here. The dictator though, right? It's getting pretty low down by the 2 SD band, but they have crossed the MAs. But you can see if this goes back into trend, if you see this entropy drop into trend, it's in mild trend right now, right? When you start to get into these blue colors, I mean, that's about the first stage of trend, is that color right there. It's not fully though. It's just teasing us, but it is telling you to the downside. And right now it's flashing, right? Usually when you get a flash on the correlation, it's telling you, boy, this baby's about to ramp up one way or the other, right? Could turn blue, could turn pink. Or if you're into your green, if your Christmas colors, could turn green, could turn red. We'll have to let it play out and see what happens. I go over here and got this variance log MA down here at about 56.5. 56.5. I mean, I really thought today we were going down here, right? Because look where it's at. 56.5, right? 56.5 is where the daily 2SD and 95.4 Laplace is. And then you're over here on this log MA, which I found to be a very good setting. I believe it's on 144. It's right there, 56.5. So that would be a great spot for a bounce too. And that's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, where's the bottom? Where's the bottom going to be at? Who the hell knows? That's why we use all this in Confluence to try to figure it out. That's what we're doing nonstop, constantly. And another good thing, you go on the daily, you can look at these. You know what? Look at these deviation bands on the daily, right? Came down here when it got down to like 50. What was the low today? 58,233. Tested the third standard deviation here. These candles are below the Gaussian mean though. And now the volatility bands are squeezing. Wouldn't shock me at all for us to really have a down move, and it'll turn these down and they will spray out just like you see over here, right? Like you see over here, they'll just spray out like this, go down, test the 3SD again. We'll have to wait and see where that ends up. Yeah, Senex, good to have you, man. Good to have you. So yeah, I just wanted to see those deviation bands on the daily. But yeah, on the 12-hour and the daily, we are below the Gaussian mean. Right? Below the Gaussian mean. We actually, I mean, the beginning of this 12-hour candle got close up there, right? But yeah, kind of rejected right off of that area. 8-hour look like. Yeah. And I mean, we got volatility on the 8-hour. We got volatility really low on the high length, pretty much flashing on the low length, negatively correlated, getting low on the 981. It's negatively correlated, but right, this is saying up, right? This is saying up. Pretty much this is saying up, but I mean, that contraction's over. It's at zero. Now, if that stays contracted and it stays at zero and it keeps going negatively correlated, that could be a walk up too. But as long as it's just staying there, I tend to go down and get these reads. And the high length is positively correlated contracting. So these two are battling. One saying up, one saying down. So it's just ding, 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 ding. But you can see that 8-hour candle is very ugly. Very, very ugly for the bulls. And why am I bringing up a candle? Well, because I know the volatility is what's creating the candle. So that's when I'm talking about candles, I'm talking about the volatility. The volatility is to the downside, man. Really is. But the AVZ on the 8-hour, right? The Z-score is coming down, slope and negatively correlated. We're flashing on the entropy, on the correlation for the entropy. And like I said, it's right now it's heading back into randomness actually. We'll have to see how that changes with the close today. Right, we're going to get a close on this 8-hour, 6-hour, 12-hour, obviously. But then you go down here to the 6-hour, and this dictator's wanting to cross up this MA. Why am I talking about dictators? Because it's powerful. It's a powerful indicator, especially if you ever see, excuse me, if you ever see divergence on the dictator, wake up because it plays out big time, just like the returns oscillator. If you ever get divergence on the dictator and the returns oscillator, be prepared for a pretty powerful move. Indeed. Right here, though, man, I put a lot of weight on our entropy indicator, and you guys should too. It's the freaking easiest indicator we have. Yes, Aaron, it is actually. MJ, you wanna? Yeah, I thought I thought that you had it. MJ will send out the goodies. MJ will send out the goods. Let's see, and you can see, but the entropy indicator, easiest indicator we have to read. It really is. I mean, the top side is just the correlation between entropy and price action. The bottom side's telling you, is the mover having trend or is it random? Like all this through here. And it's colored, and you can turn the bar color on, right? So the candles literally are the entropy, right? This is all trend right here. And you can see, then we got back, this went back into randomness when this candle, it dumped, but then pulled back up, went straight up to this log MA here. Now it's starting to get blue colors again, going back to the downside. So are we getting ready to trend again on the 6-hour? Is this thing going to drop? I'm looking at, we got two of these variance log MAs. They're pink. Returns are below the mean and variance is rising. So yeah, this is very interesting. But then you've got the low length, right? You've got this low length one. It has turned orange. That's still telling you returns are below the mean, but the variance is decreasing. You see, if you see, and obviously you guys don't have this indicator, so I will post it. If this 6-hour, you see this go pink and you see this high length go pink, it's time to wake up there. That could really send this thing tumbling. And if I remember correctly, on the 4-hour, there was just a hidden bear building, variance is coming down, positively correlated. The dictator, one of them had crossed up this MA. It looks like it's losing a little bit of steam. And if this Z-score continues to the upside, why it's heading to negatively correlated, and you drop into trend here on the entropy and it stays red, baby's going to come tumbling. And this is what I've been looking for on the APP too, for this high length APP to drop down, right? You get all three of these down to the bottom on the 4-hour or to the top on the 4-hour, you're usually some good things are going to happen. You look for, then you start looking for confluence over here, confluence with the volatility, right? The whole chart, just one big bag of confluence. Yes, Aaron, you already have it. Yeah, you should. But yeah, it's a good indicator. Study it. Mess with the lengths, obviously. You know how I roll. I come from a philosophy. Numbers are huge. Numbers are huge. Specifically, sets of numbers that will end up totaling into a 3, a 6, or a 9. Now, when I say that, say you have three numbers like 144. First thing you do is you add all those numbers together. What do you come up with? Come up with a 9. You know, the 33 I always use, that's a 6. Check the square roots out. I went off last night on a stream. I'm helping somebody out behind the scenes talking about the numbers. Look at all the square roots. Go down the rabbit hole of numbers and see how powerful 3, 6, and 9 are. Take the 525, right? The square root that you can set your AVP on. Why have I chosen these numbers? Because a 525, if you add all those numbers up, you get a 12, but you don't stop there. You always want to continue adding until it's a single digit. So it's a 3. The 981, all right? What's that add up to? First and 18, 8 plus 1's 9. You get a 9. A 636, right? I mean, just go on and on and on and blow your mind, blow your own mind and see all these square roots, like a 2400, right? What's that? That's a 6. It gets real. Once you really start understanding how powerful numbers are and how powerful the 369 are, you will start adapting all your lengths into those, right? You will start doing that. And that's why when I show you charts and how these areas hit, there's a reason. There's a reason why. All my log MAs, these log MAs, what are they? And don't forget about master numbers, 11, 22, 33, and 44. Those are 4 master numbers, right? So I've got an 11, I've got a 33, I've got a 54, and I've got a 144. Those are the lengths on my 4 variance log MAs, and they are money. They are money. All right. Enough of the brain melting numbers talk. Let's drop to our famous 90-minute here, and I'm watching this 90-minute. 100%. Do we have any divergence on the returns oscillator or on log returns or z-score log returns? Sorry, we really don't. No, there's no div. I mean, if there's any div at all, see, that's a strange bottom like that. See, I mean, we got some hidden bowl. All right, there's a little hidden bowl building. That's what people get lost in the translation, where you need to understand there has to be a bottom or a top of a data set, right? The good thing about understanding divergence and tops and bottoms is being able to use a workflow dropping down through time frames, because everything's going to ripple uphill, right? So if you've got that same div on a lower time frame and it's already set, this is what you do, right? This is how you can, I mean, I don't want to use the word front run, but yeah. Let's see here on the entropy on the 90-minute. I mean, it's just random right now, right? This whole move, right? We had that little spill out and then that big yellow candle. I mean, that's when entropy was flashing. It doesn't get any more random than that. That whole move, it wasn't even trend. That was just like, hello, let's party. We're just going to run our ass up the mountain here and just sideways from here. All random. Totally random. You'll know trend when you see it. These blue candles, that's just massive trend, right? Boop, 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 boop. And it was, and the correlation was to the downside. Then you look at the ADZ, the Z-score popped, negatively correlated. Down we go, right? Down we go. People are like, oh, but it stopped right here on that move. Let me show you something. I'll show you. Here's what I love to do with people. I don't even have to look at price action. I can look at an indicator like this. And you go try to do this with a Stoke or an RSI, something like that. You're going to fail miserably. First, let me see. Actually, the move started here. No, it didn't. Started there because that was coming down positively correlated. So first it had a little move to the downside. And then right here where where Z-score takes off to the top side and it goes negatively correlated at the same time, price action starts its dump, right? Well, right here at the top, right? When this starts coming down, you can see it was still sloping down, right? And so when this Z-score was coming down right there, and that's having an outlier on the Z-score. So when that Z-score turned down and it was still sloping down like that, that price action's still going to walk down. But then right here, you can see it starts sloping up, right? It starts going positively correlated while it's coming down. Now, what's that telling you? Price action is going to continue to the downside. see, and then boom, boom. That started walking back up. That started walking back up. But then boom, we get another variance pop right here, and it comes back down again. Or I keep saying variance. Sorry, guys. Z-score. Z-score. Somebody smacked me. So right here in the middle, right here, you'll see you'll probably have a little bump up. There'll probably be a big bear wick on the bottom of the candle right there, or maybe just a bullish candle in between this dump. But all through here, watch this now. You can see like in that little move right there, look at the bull wicks on the bottom of those two candles right there on the 90-minute. That was because the Z-score was coming down, negatively correlated. But right here, right, boom, you start this big move to the downside. And right here, where variance takes off again, negatively correlated, you get another big slam down candle. And that's just by looking at one indicator. That's just by understanding volatility. In this case, the Z-score of the volatility and how the breaks in correlation affect price. It's simple. I know it doesn't sound simple, but it is once you learn how to read volatility. That's why we stress it so much. People need to understand how to read it. It'll keep you in trades too. All right. I talk about that all the time. It will keep you in trades. I mean, I've had people before. How did you know to stay in a trade? That's how. Just by watching. If that does something different than that, boom, let's get out. If that gives me any sign that okay, now price action's going up, like on that whole move right there, when that did start to slope down that I showed, I probably would have got out, right? But then, boom, variance takes off again. I'm right back in the trade. And that's being safe, taking your profit, knowing there's always going to be another entry. 100%. Bitcoin, Bitcoin. I'm going to make a song, Bitcoin Dicking Around. It's going to be beautiful. MJ's going to play the guitar. He's excited. Okay, these 90 minutes deviation bands are getting tight. You can see we're already flat. We're flashing on the 90-minute low length, positively correlated, contracting. And I think Time to Fly is listening. Time to Fly, when I shared this chart with you, go in the inputs on the AVR and turn on the directional labels. Because sometimes the correlation will cover up the volatility a little bit and it's hard to see. It'll tell you what's going on. The direction labels will literally tell you, like right now, you can see down, down. Well, if it's contracting, and when volatility's flat, it'll just be a gray box. So it's either green arrows up, you're expanding, flat, or down. That helps. Put these in here because sometimes it's hard to see the volatility behind the correlation. But we all know the correlation is important, and that's all this line is. It's a Pearson. It's pretty much it's R, right? It's pretty much a Pearson correlation. It's just in line form. So people get confused when they see this. They don't understand how to operate it. There's no difference than having an AVP and a Pearson below it. This just saves room. And once you learn how to use it, it's a lot easier, in my opinion. It's a lot easier to just see these three indicators and use them together than to have AVP, Pearson, AVP, Pearson, AVP, Pearson. Then you're looking at 6 different indicators. This way you're looking at 3. And there's more room on my chart to throw all my other craziness on. It's so fun. Yeah, much easier to read Senex for sure. 100%, man. 100%. Where's my, there, I'm over on the other screen, crying out loud, dreaming. My little picture over here. Oh, that was a good day. That was a good day. So where was that? 90-minute? Okay, Mr. 45-minute. Like I said, this is where I started, right? We've got both these lengths of the dictator broken down the side of this log MA. I mean, you do have variance coming down negatively correlated, right? So with return oscillator heading up off no div at all, but also, oh, it's heading up, right? But look at the histogram. This histogram down here, that's the correlation, right? between the read on the returns and price action. So that's telling you the correlation's not good. It's decreasing, a decreasing correlation. It's strong right now. Strong negative correlation. Telling you that, hey, if you're going to trade the returns oscillator and you think you're going to get in a long right here, that's why we have this correlation. Plus, that's not how you trade this indicator. Returns always make the move first, right? Returns mean revert. I saw somebody have like a light bulb moment one time when they figured out this line was the zero mean of the returns oscillator of log return of z-score of log returns, right? The returns will always mean revert. They always mean revert. Price action does not mean revert. The returns do. And price action follows returns. That's why you will always see the returns do something first, and then price action follows. That's why the divergence between returns and price action is very powerful indeed. And when there is a strong div, especially a trend changing div on a low time frame, that's why you will see sometimes the direction will change immediately on price action. It's because there's strong divergence. The weaker the divergence, the longer it's going to take, the longer it'll take that price action to finally work its way down, right? Or up. That's just how that works. It's not like there's a manual to this, right? This is just shit I know from looking at this indicator forever. There, especially a returns oscillator. We used the shittier version before from some other joker, but that's what we did. We were like, okay, we're breaking loose. We're better. We do things better, and we create better indicators. And we love this wolf's bane. It's very powerful indeed. So what time is 2:51? Anybody got any questions in the chat? Anything? I'll like drop down to a 15-minute. Yeah, I mean, there hadn't been a lot going on the 15, right? Pretty much just sideways. The variance is just, but you will always see, that's the thing. Variance can be going sideways. You will always see the returns oscillator and the z-score of log returns going below the mean and above the mean, and below the mean and above the mean, and below. It's just it's always fluctuating and mean reverting. You'll always see that. This is 15 minutes. You literally have all three ABRs right now in the 15 minutes saying up, right? You're expanding positively correlated, you're contracting negatively correlated, and the volatility is flat negatively. But I'm also looking at the price percentile. I don't put a lot of weight on this, but what weight do I put on it? When I see all three of these lengths bottom out or top out at the same time, there's no such thing as overbought or oversold. When people in traditional technical analysis talk about that, that is ridiculous. If something's overbought, that's usually when it even pumps more. Or if it's oversold, it even sells off more, right? People literally trade on that shit. Oh, RSI's overbought. Oh, stochastic's overbought. Sell. Like, wrong. You'll get wrecked. There is such thing as exhaustion, though, in my opinion. And when I see all three lengths of this price percentile bottomed out or topped out, that's exhaust. The bulls or the bears, they're fucking exhausted, right? And and usually when you see that, if you see all three of these at the top or the bottom, you're going to find some corresponding divergence because it takes a lot of price action, right, to get all three of those lengths to one side or the other. And so when that happens, what does that create? It's creating an imbalance in the buy and sell pressure. And the imbalance in the buy and sell pressure is what's creating the divergence. You guys have heard me say it a million times. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So that's what we look for. This is why I use this indicator. I want to see when The bears are exhausted. Wham! Big ass move up. And I mean, for a 15-minute, right? You just get a charging move up. Big time. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And right here on the high length, it goes positively correlated right here at the bottom, right? While it's expanding. The low length as well, positively correlated. Here's the thing though. This is what Bitcoin loves to do. I don't give a shit what kind of indicators you use. You can't plan for that, right? Bitcoin loves to start moves and then just jack the shit out of traders and run a wick down to the 3SD deviation band and then run it to the upside. You know how many kook balls that are trying to scalp low time frames using traditional TA got wrecked right there? That would have wrecked anybody. That's why you're patient. You got to be patient. 100%. So where would have been the patient there? Maybe wait until all of them go positively correlated during expansion. All right. You don't just jump in along because the low length did, or the next candle, the high length did. If you waited to the third candle and the 981 then flips positively correlated, say you even get in, right? You drop this down to a 1 minute or a 5 minute. This candle did not just woo straight up. It was dun, 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 on lower time frames. So you can get a limit order filled. And just say you got in on the middle of that at 50. Let's say you got in at 59.5, $1,000 move, right? You got about 3/4, right? About 3/4 of that move. Even if it's only 50%, we're not greedy. We just like winning. You start piling up the victories, it doesn't matter how much of the move you get. When you look at your win loss and you're like, holy shit, I won 18 out of 20 trades. What the hell? Well, let's add them up. Oh, well, you know, say you're trading with one Bitcoin. And oh, well, that was $100 move. Oh, that man, I was in on a $500 move there. I mean, the shit adds up. And then you look at your daily, right? How much you made in a day, and you're like, holy shit. That's what it's all about. It's just all about winning. It does. Most of these people, a lot of people are just so wrapped up in, I got to get in at the bottom. I got to get in at the top, and I got to get the whole move. I want to be able to post that. Oh, look what my entry was. Oh, stupid. Ask them to see ask them that you want to see your P&L. You want to, how many, let's see your profit and loss. I want to see how many trades you've won. Changes dramatically then. They won't show you. Just like most people say they have an edge. They'll tell you they have an edge. They won't show it to you though, because it's the edge of a cliff, right? They've fallen off it so many times. They're all battered and bruised, and they got one victory, and they're just like, "Oh my God, thank God, I'm going to boast about this." Hell, it hardly ever happens. Show the power to them. All right. Kinda, but it's not. It's definitely based on Fisher. Based on Fisher. Donniebrooks creation. If you really want to ask some questions, reach out to Donnybrook. He likes talking. He likes hockey and he likes talking. That's why we like him. All right. So yeah, right now in the 15-minute though, everything's raining. I got a dog pawing at me. Oh, you good dog. Yeah. Had a little jackass dog in the park this morning. Almost got eaten alive by my dogs. Being just a little pompous ass. Going up, barking at my dogs, snipping at him. Tried to bite this one. He was having none of it. I was like, hey, buddy, you might want to get your dog. My dogs are hungry. They might eat your dog. Please come get him. He's being a little ass. All right. So if you're watching on YouTube, we're Alpha Trading. We trade volatility, probability, and statistics, and we love to teach people to do the same. The link to our Discord is in the description of the videos. come check us out. Follow the welcome message. It tells you exactly what to do. Right? We have a small fee to get into the Discord to keep out the riffraff. That's where we're at. You know, you can trade however you want, right? We would love to teach people how to trade volatility, probability, and statistics, but we only want the people that want to learn, right? You got to put value on that, right? And it's $10 a month, a little bit of value. And that just keeps the people out that just want to come in and bullshit. Those are the people we don't want. And we really don't care if you want to come learn volatility, probability, and statistics, because we know for the rest of our lives, we're going to have an infinite stream of people trading other ways that'll be on the other side of our trades. So we love it. We love it. We're a tight group community. Come join us. Check us out. Thanks, you guys that are watching live in the Discord. We love you. And we'll see you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you guys.